should be able to get most of it in one circle. That looks like it's pretty decent.
So loose.
Yeah, it's showing a capillary. I mean, don't worry about it. But it's supposed to show you the exchange of gases and other cells that are in there. All right, so first of all, taking a look at what they have there versus what we have here. Kind of similar, just reverse. And theirs isn't as magnified, so it's going to look a little different initially. But yeah, same stuff, okay? So let's see what they got. Actually, you want to magnify it one more time, or do you think that'll be? Okay, so let's see what you guys have, and then we'll label them.
Okay, so we have the long dog, and then this is like the terminal bronchial.
Yeah.
Terminal bronchial.
Okay, so right there, did everyone see why they say that's a terminal bronchial versus what's up here? What is it? What kind of features do you see?
The cuboidal.
You see how it's a little thicker, the stain at least?
Yeah.
We're getting thicker cells. Well, yeah, what else is in the wall that's absent, I should say, from the wall? Alveoli. There's no alveoli in the wall of a terminal bronchiole.
And then we have respiratory bronchial in here.
And I'd actually even keep going to the left. So up where you were a second ago, yeah, you could keep going along the left. That's almost all respiratory bronchiole along there.
And then we have the alveolar
So, alveolar duct, where it looks like it's just all alveoli along the wall, right? If you see nothing but alveoli, that is an alveolar duct. What's tricky is this doesn't go through an alveolar sac, really. So it kind of stops there. Maybe if you go down, move it down so we can see that. So for that slide, what I'm saying is, I would ask you terminal bronchial, respiratory bronchial, alveolar duct.
This one's an alveolar duct.
Yeah, there's another alveolar duct. Almost going to an alveolar sac, but not great. Does everybody tell me if you see the difference? Look up here on the screen. On their slide, we can see an alveolar duct, but do you see how it terminates then in all these pockets? That's an old alveolar sac where all those grapes are. What I'm saying is we don't see, you see how theirs just kind of terminates? It's almost like a rounded end. I would say that is not an alveolar sac. I want to make sure everyone understands why I'm saying that. A little difference, right? And that's okay, because a lot of these sections, you're lucky to get that much into one. But can you see alveolar sacs up there on their own? Anywhere you see a whole cluster of alveoli is an alveolar sac. But so is everyone going to get that drawn in there first? And then we'll move on.
Particular tissue type that is associated with
Terminal and respiratory both have a simple cuboidal. Let me point out real quick here. You can see alveolar sacs, like right here is an alveolar sac. You just see how there's a cluster of alveoli. Another alveolar sac. Anywhere you see a big pocket of alveoli, there are alveolar sacs. It's just that ideally we would have something that we could trace it all the way down. But out of the 32 slide boxes in here, I bet only 3 or 4 have the ones that would go from beginning to end. So that's why they showed us real good terminal, respiratory, and duct. It's just that it probably connects to the sac eventually. It just doesn't get there. Okay, so then what were you gonna show us?
And then we have alveolus. It's just basically one sac. It's like one sac. And then we have the branch of the visceral pleura is just basically the layer.
Well, we'll be able to go to one side or the other and find an edge. But for right now, do we see pulmonary arteries or pulmonary veins?
Yeah, the branch of pulmonary arteries right down here.
You want to see that circle? Right next to the airway. So what did we say? If there's a blood vessel right next to the airway, it is a pulmonary artery. And even if you slide to the left, you see another section of that same vessel. Okay? But a pulmonary vein is all by itself. So if you see another circular structure, and I would probably show you one that has blood in it actually, not by a major airway, right? Then that is a pulmonary vein. So location is the key for those.
There's also a pulmonary vein in that picture they showed. There was one.
That was just a continuation of that same artery. When it was right next to it, you mean?
It was the one that had like the bronchial and everything, and then above it looked like it was also a vein.
If it's anywhere in the vicinity, like up there, we could. It's probably artery because it's close, but yeah, I would isolate it.
You make it obvious.
I would make it obvious where it's tucked up right against it for an artery, and I would move it away if it were to be a vein. The veins are usually much larger. Alright, so go ahead and go to the top edge, bottom edge, somewhere we'll find, there we go. There is your visceral pleura. So what is that tissue type? If it's simple squamous epithelial tissue. Okay, so simple squamous epithelial tissue. But you see how it's a nice, clean, smooth edge? It tells me I'm on the outer edge of the lung.
Oh, you just tell us it's not.
It's not on there, but you should know. It's good to know. So if you needed to put that in a second circle, you could do that.
So is that right? You were talking about the intrathoracic.
Exactly. That's that intrapleural space right there. Exactly. If we could see the cavity wall on the other side, like right now, if I were to ask you what space am I in, what space is that?
Intrapleural.
Pleural space. Right? You'd imagine that there's another layer right here, which would be the parietal. In between the two is this space, and that's that pleural space. As far as identifying these things in parentheses, everything there is a structure. We're just looking, terminal bronchial structure, respiratory bronchial structure, alveolar duct structure. I guess you could say those are passageways. The first three you could say are passageways. But a sac is a structure, alveolus is a structure, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein are structures, and the visceral pleura would be what?
Liver.
Specific layer.